Hey students, today I'm going to talk to you about animals, and more specifically, the ones that you don't learn about in primary school because they're strange and uncommon, which I think is speciesism, but that's just my opinion. Anyway, here's a top 10 list of peculiar creatures.
Number 10.
In the number 10 spot on this list, we have this guy known as the pink fairy armadillo, found in the grasslands of central Argentina. And the first thing that jumps out at you is the fact that the shell only covers the top of its body. It's like a normal armadillo saw a mouse and was like,
¿Por qué no las dos?
What's even weirder about the shell is that it's not even properly attached to the creature itself, with only a thin membrane along its spine holding it there, because as we all know, there's nothing like taking off the shell after a hard day's work.
Number 9.
Next up is the Gerund. It makes the list because of its ridiculously long neck. Some of you may ask, well, a giraffe has a longer neck, so why isn't it on the list? With a giraffe, they're fully committed to the whole long neck thing. These ones only went halfway, and now it's like they're in the uncanny valley of necks. As you can see from the graph, it ranges from this neck-removed sheep I found on Google Images to a giraffe, with the Gerund right in the valley.
Number 8.
Now, some of you may have heard of this one. It's the four-legged wild ham producer, the Babarusa. Notice how it's got 4 horns? Crazy, right? Actually, they're not horns. Turns out they're actually the 2 upper canine teeth, which for some unknown reason, the Babarusa went huh and decided to have these teeth grow through its entire snoot and out the other side. And that's not all. These horns grow for the animal's entire life, leaving me to wonder whether you could make them curl up into a spiral.
Number 7.
Next we have the Lamprey. This jawless parasitic monstrosity is truly a relic from a bygone era, and it instantly reminded me of that space slug from The Empire Strikes Back. But the thing I love most about this sea creature is that its name Lamprey is thought to be derived from the Latin lampetra, meaning stone liquor. Moving on.
Number 6.
Ever wonder what would happen if a crustacean had hair? Well, you don't have to anymore, thanks to the Yeti Crab. First discovered in 2006 around deep-sea geothermal vents, the Yeti Crab feeds mostly on bacteria, which it filters through its hair. Fun fact, unfortunately for this curious crustacean, it paid for its luscious locks with its ability to see, and is completely blind.
Number 5.
If there was a list for the most useless animal, the Blob Fish would definitely be up the top. I don't think I need to say much more than it looks like the leftovers from when all the animals were created.
Number 4.
Imagine this. The daylight is fading. Alone, you walk around in the rainforest, searching for some fresh wild fruits to take home to eat, when suddenly you begin to hear a baby crying off in the trees. Curious and concerned, you tense up as your parental instincts take over and draw you to find the child. You get closer. The sound becomes louder. You should be alone, right? Even closer. Even louder. And silence. You frantically start looking around, desperately searching for something to validate your wandering. As you turn to go, you see a bird near your feet, and the sound starts again. The wailing of a child. It makes sense now. You exhale and relax. This animal is a lyrebird. It seems like an ordinary bird at first, but it can imitate any sound. It's been known to imitate the sounds of chainsaws, camera shutters, and yes, even crying babies.
Number 3.
Next up we have the Okapi. It's basically a half zebra, with the rest of it just some sort of mix of every African horse-like creature you've ever seen before. But despite its appearance, the Okapi is more closely related to giraffes than zebras, such that these 2 animals are the only species in their family. I think this is one of those animals that the English elites back in the 18th century would have thought it was a fake if one of the explorers sent back some drawings of it. Speaking of hoaxes, this segues nicely into
Number 2.
the platypus. When first discovered by Europeans in 1798, a Pelton sketch was sent back to Britain, and the scientists at the time immediately thought it was a hoax, and that someone had sewn a duck's bill onto a beaver-like creature. But apart from its bizarre appearance, the platypus is actually a really cool animal. You've heard of echolocation before. Amazing, right? A feat of biological engineering. Wrong, it's lame. The platypus has the much cooler electrolocation, where it can literally detect muscle contractions from its prey and use that for location in murky waters. Okay, so before we get on to number 1, a quick honourable mention. The pacu, a fish that has human teeth.
Number 1.
The human, the Homo sapien, the fleshy body that literally only serves as a transport for the head. So what's so strange about humans, I hear you ask? Well, a lot of things, but for now let's just stay with some biological reasons. First up, we've got no fur or hair covering, and then we just go and put on all manner of clothes anyway to keep warm. And if that's not the most nonsensical behaviour ever, then it would only be topped by walking on 2 legs. Seriously, because of this, nearly 80% of us will experience lower back pain during our life. Also, back when we all used to live in the grassy plains of Africa, it was much easier for predators to see us on account of standing up instead of being hunched over on all fours. Lastly, we have some useless organs, and this and many other reasons land humans the number 1 spot on this list. Anyway, that's all for today's class. Till next time, this has been the Average Institute, and now you hit the subscribe button.